Welcome for the workout again, live workout here at the field house for those of you that are still at home doing the YouTube live workouts at home. Just a quick reminder, when you do the workout, have mom or dad or a sibling take a picture of you working out with us, tag it on and post it on your Instagram. And what that does is enter you in a drawing to win at the end of, potentially win at the end of the week, some sweet gear from us. So Ty's back here with me again today for the workout. We'll get warmed up with our line drills. We're gonna do the double leg line drills or double line drills that we do. So imagine you got two lines parallel to your feet, running forward and backward. And Ty's gonna start off with the double leg, so he's gonna go out, out, in. We're gonna do out, out, in over the top of those lines. We're gonna go for 10 seconds. Yep, ready, go. Or our pitter patter, double line pitter patter. He's going for 10 seconds here. And break. Quick as you can, controlling our body. 3, 2, go. This is moving well, nice quiet upper body, legs are moving quick. Break. We got one more of those. 3, 2, go. And break. So next one we're gonna do is Ty's actually gonna go moving both feet. We're gonna flip the lines the other direction, so perpendicular to our feet. So there's gonna be one, almost like if there's one in front of your foot and one behind. Ty's gonna hop forward, back, and behind, forward and backward across those lines. Both feet moving forward and backward. Ready, go. Yep, hopping forward across them, into the middle, and then back. And break. Again, a lot of body control. Don't get the shoulders leaning too far forward or backward. Keep them centered over top of your feet. 3, 2, go. It's moving well here. Light on the feet. And break. One more time. 3, 2, go. Heels stay off the ground, and break. Last one we're gonna do is we're gonna go in and out, almost jumping jacks across both lines. So again, both lines are parallel to our feet, one on either side, out and in, back and forth across those lines. Ready, go. And break. 3, 2, go. Again, quiet with the upper body, relatively quiet. It's not swaying side to side. Feet are just moving in and out quick off the ground. And break. And then we got one more of these. 3, 2, go. And break. Next exercise we're gonna do, Ty's gonna do, what we're gonna do a single leg stationary good morning with a knee drive. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna stand, we'll start on one leg, we'll start on right leg, left leg will be up in the air, hands are gonna go behind his head, elbows will get nice and wide. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna drop himself down, nice flat back, leg goes back with it, and he's gonna come upright, bring his knee up in front, and then back down into that position. A lot of balance on one leg. Now we're not reaching, Ty can go ahead and get started. We're gonna do 6 on each leg, but we're not gonna reach with our shoulders. He's actually gonna lower because his foot goes back. He's trying to keep everything in a nice straight line, all right? Don't bend over for the ground. Stick that leg back. That's what's gonna get you going. And it doesn't need to be fast. Good body control with this. A lot of balance, a lot of stability. Well, yep, if we lose balance, reset, don't just give up on it. And it's a challenging one to do. Make sure we're not pulling our neck. So Ty's doing a really good job. He's got his hands, he's just resting them there. His hands are rested there. It's helping him keep his chest nice and wide with this. That's why we put our hands up tall. Keeps him from dropping his shoulders forward. Yep. It's quite the challenge. A lot of balance here. And we'll do 6 on the other side. Ty's getting a real workout in today. The more advanced you guys get, the farther you've been with us all this time, the more advanced we get in these workouts, the more challenging we can make these warm-ups too and prepping our hips. We spend a lot of time in our sports on one leg. So getting balance, flexibility, control with these movements, this is a great opportunity to work on those things. Cool. And the last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go into push-up position. So Ty, why don't you turn to your right there? Yep. Top of the push-up position. Ty's what he's gonna do, he's gonna keep his left hand on the ground. He's gonna take his right hand and reach back and touch his left foot. Go back to that top of the push-up position. He's gonna alternate, 6 on each side. Hips are coming up nice and high. So he's driving his hips up and he's reaching down and across. We're getting a little bit of a turn. Touching the opposite foot, 6 on each side. A lot of body control, a lot of flexibility, a lot of mobility, getting some rotation here on each side with that as well. So, good warm up with that right there. Now we'll get into that workout. Again, exercises aren't getting super complicated. We're just gonna challenge you in a few different ways. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do our body weight squat, but I'm gonna change it up. We're gonna go into what we call like a prisoner squat position, our hands behind our head. Just like we did with the good mornings, the single leg good mornings in the warm up. Don't pull on your neck, keep the hands just rested on your head. Elbows stay nice and wide so we're not bending them forward. And Ty's gonna we got 20 body weight squats. So Ty can go ahead and get going. We'll let you guys do this one on your own. And then Ty, you guys can get going on your own. Take your time, sit down nice and low. We're far enough into this. We don't need to be counting downs and ups for you. Good tempo, sit low, keep the chest up. Elbows stay nice and wide, helps you open up your chest, stay nice and tall. We've been spending a lot of time in front of ourselves these last 8 weeks. We're gonna open everything up, get a little more athletic with it. Takes a lot more core strength too when we're in this position. A little burn on the shoulders too. A lot of stability there. So, same idea, same setup. We're going to do the prisoner. We're going to keep our hands up in that position. We're going to do a reverse lunge. So Ty, let's turn to your left there. The hands are going to stay nice and wide behind our head. We don't want to bend over. We don't want those elbows pointing forward. We don't want to look down at the ground. We're going to keep our chest up nice and tall. Ty's going to take he's going to step back. With his right foot, gently tap the ground, drive himself back up. We'll do 10 of those. Go ahead and do your 10 on your right leg. And we're gonna do 10 on the left. Take your time, control it to the ground, drive it back up. And give yourself about 15 seconds, rest those arms. We're gonna put them we'll get them back up there, and then you're gonna do the same thing with driving that with that left leg. Now, Ty does a great job with this. When he stands back up, he's not dragging, he's not leaning forward to come back up. He's standing up tall on that right leg. He's pushing up tall on this right leg, and then the left leg's coming forward. We don't wanna get to where we're down here and then leaning to have to get ourselves up. Try to stay up nice and tall. It takes some abs, it takes some core strength, some focus to use that front leg to propel ourselves back forward. Instead of our normal traditional forward lunge where we have to drive back, now Ty's got to drive straight up to get himself there. And that's our 10 on each of our lunges on each leg. The step up now. With our step ups today, we'll relax the arms for this one, but we're going to go with that stationary foot on the bench the whole time, or your chair. Leg stays on the chair the whole time. Chest stays nice and tall. Ty's going to drive himself up to that knee forward and toe up in position. Control it all the way back down to the ground. That right foot will stay on the bench. He's going to do 10 of those. You guys can go ahead and get started too. Pause at the top. Good body control here. He's not falling all over the place. Toe comes up with that knee. Stays right there. I know we have one less moving part in this, so we're not stepping up onto the bench or the bleacher or your chair, but it becomes more of a challenge in that we have to drive a little bit harder and control it a little bit more. We can't use momentum. We took all the momentum out of it. That's how we can make it harder. The more momentum we can take out of the movement, the more challenging it can become, or we can make it. You want to work on sprinting and running, this is a great one here for the knee drive. Good arm position. We're driving opposite arm, opposite leg. As we do this too, hands aren't going across the body. We don't want to go across with them. We're trying to keep them going forward and backward. And the last movement in our lower body section, our lower body circuit here, is our lunge jumps. So Ty's going to go with those lunge jumps. 5 on each leg. I'll cue you, Ty, on the first one. I'll give you a go. Same thing with you guys. I'll give you a go. You got 5 same side lunge jumps. So we're not going to switch our feet. We're going to stay right where we are. We're going to drive straight up, straight back down. With those 5, make sure that back knee doesn't touch the ground. Chest stays up nice and tall. Push yourself up off the ground. We're going to go ahead, ready, and go. Again, all 5 with the right foot forward. And then all 5, we'll take a break, control it, switch our feet up, left foot goes forward. Same thing with the left foot forward, and go. Nice big push. Ty's driving himself up off the ground. Again, yeah, if we lose balance, it's okay. Reset and get going back into it. If we feel like we're falling, we got to stop. We can't just jump all over the place. And we'll give a little bit of a break, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the upper body. We'll do an upper body now, then we'll go back to the lower body. So, with our push-up, Ty, let's go with we'll go from the top with our push-ups. So instead of us starting on the ground, we're going to start off the ground. We got the lowering. We're going to lower ourselves to the ground. We're actually going to do the hand release. I know we started those with our workouts, these most recent workouts. So when Ty lowers himself to the ground, he's actually going to let his hands off the ground, put him back down, and drive himself back up. Okay, so he's got 10 of those. You guys can go ahead and get started 2 with these. Each time you get to the ground, this helps us force getting our chest all the way to the ground and drive ourselves back up. Now, when he lets go, he doesn't let go of his legs. His thighs stay nice and tight. His kneecaps are staying off the ground. His abs got to stay tight. We're just picking our hands off and putting them right back down on the ground, propelling ourselves back up to the top of that position. If we have to rest, we rest at the top, not laying on the ground. Again, we're going from the top of the push-up position down to the ground and then back up today. From an ab standpoint, let's do the flutter kick. Let's do the up and down flutter kick. We're not going to go side lateral. We're going to go up and down. So just like we set up for our toe taps, chin's off the ground. He's staring down his belly button. Shoulders are up. 1 foot's high, 1 foot's low, and he's going to switch them. We'll do 15 each leg. So 30 total movements here. Doesn't have to be fast. We're not looking for a quick one. We want a nice, almost 90 degrees from the top leg to the bottom leg. You make it even more challenging. Don't ever let that bottom foot touch the ground. Keep it off the ground. Make sure we're staring at our belly button. A lot of our athletes, we have to correct a lot of the times. They're looking straight up in the air. We want a little bit more ab control, a little more stability. Arms are out to the side, and I'm staring down at my belly button. Good. And then the last thing we're going to do is what we call a black burn. So Ty's going to flip around on his stomach. Very similar to what we do for our Superman. His arms are going to start out over top in front of his body. His feet's going to, he can relax his feet though, but he's going to bring his hands up off the ground and he's going to pull them down to his side. He's literally pulling right down to his side, squeezing, almost trying to pinch his elbows to his side. Pause and then back up. We're going to do 15, Ty. You can take your time. Again, he's not moving fast. Quick to he's controlling it to the ground and then back up. It's challenging. You drive. This is all about your focus and your intensity. You can make this one more challenging. The longer you hold, the harder you squeeze, the farther you press away at the top. That's where we gain all the intensity and effort in this. We'll give you about 30 seconds, catch your breath, grab a drink, and then we'll get back into it. We're gonna go back to our lower body. Ty's gonna grab a drink for himself, and then we'll get back into this. Okay, back to the top now. Now we're back to that prisoner squat. Again, keep those elbows nice and high. Hands are relaxed on top of our head. We're not squeezing and pulling on our neck. Keeping them nice and wide, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Back to our 20 squats. Again, you can go on your own, get started here. Chest stays up. Make sure our heels stay flat on the ground. If we're struggling to keep our heels down, we gotta widen them out a little bit. And then make sure we're sitting down and back into this, okay? It's not just sitting straight down, we're crashing forward, we're gonna sit down and back into it. We don't need to sit too far back, but if there's a chair behind you, we're trying to sit down to that chair. A lot of ab work here, a lot of core work, and as with all of our exercises, but the farther we bring those arms away from the center of our body, the harder it becomes. We don't always have to add load. We can just manipulate our arms and our feet, and that we can make it more challenging in that sense. Same thing with this. Now we're going to do those prisoner lunges. So the reverse lunge. So hands are going to go behind our head. Ty's going to stay nice and tall, use his abs, drive that foot back to the ground, control his knee to the ground, and then back up. 10 again on our right. Then we'll do 10 again then we'll do 10 on the left. A lot of body control here. Really control that knee, good deceleration. Big push back to the top. Yeah, give your arms a little shake out just like Ty did. They get burned, and we'll get back into it. This is much work for the upper body as it is for the lower body here. Cool. Yep. Just like Ty said there, you slide right there. That was a hard one. Gets the arms going. It's a lot of work. No load, no weight, but it gets those arms going. That step up now, again, with that foot stationary on the bench, or your chair, that's where you're going to start. Keep that foot there. Try to keep all your weight in that foot. So Ty's going to try to keep all his weight on that right foot, so he's driving straight up off the bench or off the chair. Pause at the top. Yeah, it gets you right there. Pause for a second at the top. Control it gently back to the ground. It's not a race with this one. Yep, a little balance check there. All about body control. Again, you have 10 right and 10 left with this. Make sure we're under control at the top. We're not wobbling, falling all over. If we are, we're moving too quick. We got to control it. Try to eliminate how much lateral movement we do when we get those in there, when we do those step ups. Much like when we do our lunges. Last one we got for this upper body or for the lower body here is that lunge hold, or sorry, lunge jump. Right foot's forward, left foot's back. We're not switching our feet. We're trying to drive straight up and down. The big thing too is we don't want a bunch of Ty. Why don't we do this set facing the camera? When Ty does this, we don't want to see him move a whole lot left or right when he's jumping. We don't want him to jump and move 4 inches to his right or left. We want to try to stay relatively where he's at, right where he is. He's not traveling sideways. He's not traveling forward and backward. Those lunge jumps should just push himself straight up and down. 5 on his right, 5 on his left. I'll get the go on the first one. Make sure that back knee stays off the ground. Ready, go. Big push. Nice big drive. Nice. And pause. Good pause there. Yeah, he did a great job. He's not traveling a ton. You may move a little bit, but you're not traveling 4 feet right, 4 feet left. Same thing on the left side. Ready, go. Big push. Good, and great body control on that. Next up, we're going back to the ground for our push-ups. Starting from the top. All right, we're going to the top of the push-up position. We're done wrestling on the ground now. We got to use a little bit more abs, but we're going to do the hand release. So when Ty lowers himself down, he controls himself down. He's picking those hands up off the ground, putting them back down, pushing himself right back up. Got to have good body control here. And it's not a speed thing, especially with these. Pick the hands up, it's a big squeeze in the shoulders, and then push them back down through the ground. 10 push-ups total. Make sure we're looking straight down the ground. Ty has a good setup here. Everything's nice, straight line. It all moves up and down as one unit when he does that. Our flutter kicks going straight ahead are up and down. Again, set up just like we do our toe ups. Arms are out to the side, chin stays up. One leg's high, one leg's low. Controlled position there. Yeah, we'll be good. A lot of control, it's not a fast movement. 15 on each side from like we did in the first set. We got 30 total movements with that. We'll give you a chance to catch up before we get our last exercise in here. And then we'll finish with some mobility, a couple mobility and coordination things. So Ty's gonna get himself set up. The last thing we got is those Blackburns. Again, set yourself up on your stomach. Feet can stay on the ground, toes can stay down on the ground, arms will start up overhead, Ty's head, shins off the ground, pulling those elbows down to his side. He's trying to squeeze down low, almost like trying to make a W. Pause for a second, reach those arms up as high as you can, pull them back down, pause, squeezing hard. We're not just hanging out there. He's really trying to pull his elbows all the way to his side. $15 of them here. Good. You guys can finish and catch up. And then we're going to finish with couple movement flows. We'll stay right down where we're at on the ground. We're going to do a couple mountain climbers to finish up there, Ty. So, yep, we can say either one. Yep, let's say that way. The first one we're gonna do is that alternate mountain, or sorry, this is a normal mountain climber. So Ty's gonna get himself to that top of that push-up position, just like we usually do when we warm up. A couple of the workouts we've warmed up with these. We'll start with hit Ty's right foot outside his right hand. Try to get as close to that right hand, outside that right hand as we can. Then he's gonna pause for 2 seconds, and he's gonna jump and switch his legs. Pause for 2 seconds. 6 on each side. Good pause, a lot of body control, a lot of coordination. Big hip stretch here when we do this. A lot of core strength, a lot of control. Next one we're gonna do is we're gonna do that alternate, or we're gonna do just the alternate mountain climber. So from that push-up position, Ty's gonna bring his left leg across, his right leg, bring it all the way out, and then let those hips drop a little bit. We're gonna get a nice hip stretch. So as he brings the leg through, he's dropping his hip down to the ground. So we're trying to take that opposite knee to that opposite elbow, and then we're just gonna lower the hip. We get some good rotation here. We're letting the hips turn, and we're gonna good stretch on the hip. 6 of those on each side. Again, you can take your time. It's not fast. A little bit of body control, some core strength here and stabilizing our body, but then we also get the stretch into it. It's a good way to finish out a workout. Again, just 6 of those on each side, so 12 total. And the last thing we'll finish up with is just a nice 10-second full squat. So Ty will set himself up in that squat position, feet flat on the ground, give him some width. He'll drop down, set his hands on his feet, elbows to stay straight. They're inside your knees, so we're not out here. We're sitting up inside. 10-second hold down there at the bottom. And then we'll stand it up, and that's it for that workout. Now, remember, just like always, tag yourself in the photo or grab a photo from you working out with us. Tag it, tag PSM1 team on that photo, and that'll get you an entry into our drawing. At the end of the week, we'll reach out, we'll announce the winner, and we'll see you here for the next workout.